All right, in this video, I want to break down some of my top favorite themes for this year. These are themes that are absolutely crushing it for clothing stores. These are themes that are going to give you the right features and it's going to give you that unique edge to make sure that you stand out in a crowded marketplace. So if you're looking for a new theme, please consider watching this video all the way through. Now, coming in number one is Focal. Focal is coming at $320. It's made by Maestro with 3 O's, 95% positive reviews, about 300 reviews in here, which that's actually, I just want to touch on that. That's a newish feature. It's actually showcasing and highlighting those reviews for you ahead of time and a little bit earlier, right? When you're looking through all the themes. So one of the first things that I like to do and see for any of these themes is actually look at the demo store. So when we click on the demo store, we'll get actually a representation of how this theme behaves and how it looks and all these subtle animations, right? Like as I'm scrolling through here, you see things popping up, the text is showing and not showing when I hover over things, the smoothness, right, of how things behave within the site are all things that I'm looking at. I'm kind of registering, I'm seeing how it looks and how it works. If we go back here, like you'll see like a lot of times just looking at this page alone, it's not enough, right? Going through like all this like features they list in here, it's just not enough. A lot of these themes really, honestly, they have a lot of these same things. It's going to be just like those little unique things here and there that will elevate you or make you seem, a little bit different than other stores. So demo store is my go-to, just to see how it looks, how it behaves. So just looking at the homepage it's a must. After that, looking at an actual product page. So just coming in here and seeing how this looks, how the information here is organized, right? Like at a glance, just looking at this, it looks like the description and the tech specs, right? It's gonna have to be on this left-hand side underneath this information. So if you're okay with how this looks, more than likely you're gonna be sort of pigeonholed to this structure. If you want, for example, the description to be shown right here, like that's something that you'll have to check with the trial version to see if you can move the description up there. So just take that into consideration where you're looking through and seeing some of the features and some of the things and how things are structured, right? I would say that the product page, theme developers try to be very unique on the homepage and the product page because those are basically the two main pages. So looking at how these behave is going to be super important. And then lastly, I like to look at the carts. The carts could either indicate whether you need an app dedicated to completely replacing the cart or using the features built in within the theme. So it looks like this theme in particular has a you may also like, kind of like an upsell or cross sell right here within the cart, which is actually very nice. To me, it's very well done because it's sort of outside of the cart a little bit, and it gives you some of those additional options for other products that you can quickly add to your cart. Looks like it has cart notes in here as well. So again, this is what I like to see and what stands out to me, right, when I'm looking at some of these themes. Something else that I implore you to do and make sure that you do is check out the time that it was last updated and the version number. So the last time that it was updated will give you an indication of when was the last time the developers actually worked on this theme. Shopify releases new features all the time, and it's up to the theme developers to then incorporate sometimes, not all the time, but a lot of times, incorporate some of those features into their themes. So if the last time this was updated was 6 months ago, 2 months ago, like that may be a bad indication, right? And we're recording this in December, so December it's not bad, right? That's December 5th in here. But again, just something to consider. And then the version number, the higher the number usually, not always, usually indicates that it's a tried and true theme. It's been it's been in the store for a little bit. They've had multiple versions. They work through the kinks. They work through additional features and things like that. So Focal is one of the OGs that have been here for a while. So you can kind of get an idea. You can also go to the support and documentation area. And in here, you get a better idea of the cadence of these updates, right? So it looks like they did August, September, December, some of the latest updates on this theme. So this is always just good information so you can make a better informed decision. Something else that I like to see in here before we jump into the trial is looking at stores that are using this theme. So this will give you an idea of some other brands and how they're using it and how they're manipulating some of the sections. As you can see, like for every theme, when you see these examples here, and these are real brands, it's always nice because you can see that you can have the same theme but still look very different from one to the other, and that's just like cool to see. We also get some other ideas for other themes and the same developers and other things that they're doing. But to me, like this, other stores using this theme, it's very powerful to see some of the things that they're doing there. After doing all that, to install the trial. The trial is going to give me the idea on how things actually work behind the scenes. Some of the first things that I like to do in here is click on add section and then just see how many options I have in terms of sections. It looks like Focal gives us 5 different sections, but I think it's a good variety of different sections, like a multi-column, logo list, testimonials. We have even a timeline block. You can actually put about page or even on the home page, talking a little bit more about the brand, the shop, the look. I think they have recently viewed, which is some section that to me is very important to have for clothing stores. So all these things, it's great to look at the amount of sections, but don't let that be like the number one thing, right? Just with 25, you can do a lot with 25 sections. And obviously there's alternatives, right? And at the end of the day, when it comes to potentially adding some additional things here to the store, but usually the amount of sections will kind of let me know the amount of flexibility that I will have with this particular theme. So some of the ones that we'll explore today will go from 25 all the way up to, I think, 40 different sections. So it could be like, some of the ones that have 40, like they may have too much for you. So that's why I wanted to get you a good variety of themes. Also price point, how new, how old they are, and also just looking at a variety of themes with different sections. Something else that I like to see here as well, I like to go to the theme settings and just see some additional things. Like usually some of the more unique things may show up or pop up in here. Things like product siblings or changes that you can do in the cart. So for example, for this one, we had the ability to do a free shipping threshold on the cart. So we'll automatically keep track of how far away the customer is from reaching free shipping, which a lot of themes don't have this built in. So the fact that they have this, I think it's great. Also like to look, color swatches, which newer themes, they should have, and even this right here, it says deprecated, because moving forward, they will use essentially like meta fields and product category meta fields. So that feature by itself will be a little bit deprecated. Product grid, I think would be a good one to go into and just kind of explore and see some of the things that may be available within there. This one doesn't have anything crazy that I see. One thing that I like to see here is animation. So I can actually toggle on and off different animations. Although animations within this theme was something that drew me to it. So turning them off may be bad, but again, it depends on performance, right? If your store is maybe performing not as good as you wanted to, or maybe you have users complain that things are loading too slow, like you can always turn some of these animations off. The fact that it gives me an opportunity to toggle on and off different types of animations, I think that's great because it gives us a little bit more granular control. The other thing that I like to see, the cart. Cart to me is one of those features that I've been paying attention to a lot. So just seeing what options I have here for the cart. It looks like we can do that cross sell and we can do that free shipping threshold. So right there alone, we can do also order notes. Just having those features alone makes this theme really great and really impactful. I guess it has good features that are impactful when it comes to actual convert, which is something that we definitely want to see. So there you have it. Focal is our first recommended theme for this year. Now coming up next is Stiletto. Stiletto is one that we've actually recommended quite a few in some of our other videos. I still think it's a great theme. It's coming at $350. It's made by Flores and Designs, updated December version 3.2.6. So a little bit of a newer theme compared to the one that we just saw previously, but it's just a really well made, has good features. And I think it has also a lot of times the font and the colors that they use for the demo almost like dictate, how the theme or the type of brand that would use this. But don't let that deter you, because the fonts and the colors and the look and feel, like all this changes, right? When you start inserting all of your stuff in here, all this will change and the look and feel of it will definitely change. So, but Stiletto, definitely one of my favorite ones. It's just feature rich. It has just slight animations here and there. Good features within the cart in terms of when it's empty, when you actually have things within the cart. And then, overall, just a great, solid theme. Great support too by the developers. So let's go back here and let me show you. So review, support, documentation. It looks like, December, 2 updates for November. So you get an idea here, the release notes on how quick they are to push updates for Stiletto. See, this is just so crazy. Look at this Clelet. That doesn't even look like, let's just open that up so you can see. I guess I changed it a little bit, but still, that looks completely different. And a lot of times, like I said, it's the font. As long as you change the font of your theme, it will look completely different from a different store. So I do want to see, let's go ahead and I want to add something to the cart here. Okay, they're using the notification. Okay, there we go. Okay, so they have the free shipping threshold, looks like activated, which is great. Okay, let's go in and jump into the trial so we can see a little bit more on the back end. I guess I already had it open here. So in terms of sections, they have 38 different sections. So again, a little bit more flexibility than what we saw before. Things like scrolling content. We have 2 options for shoppable image. We have like the big hero banner, then we have more of an editorial. So you can kind of see an idea of some of the things. Something that I also this is just another quick tip is to look into, like, type in like things like, I like to type in product, and then I see like, okay, these are the sections that I have where I can actually manipulate product, right? And then I go and type in collection, and then at a glance I can kind of see like, okay, what options do I have in terms of, showcasing my collections? So this actually has 4 different types for me to showcase my collections. So again, gives me a little bit more flexibility, a little more room to breathe and to make things look a little bit different one to the other. So I love that it has like multiple sections for me to do those things. Now let's go into and see the cart. So we have the quick cart in here. Looks like we have enable, include, and then when the cart is empty, I can actually, select the collection in here. Like we have animations. Let me see. I thought I saw, okay, it's in here. So you see, that's where like sometimes you'll see it in the theme settings. Sometimes you'll see it in the editor. But here under theme settings, we have, which I would disable that pop-up. I would just have the cart note or the cart drawer just come in. And then looks like we have some options for the free shipping bar, some options for low inventory warning, cross sells. Yeah, this is great. I love this. And this is exactly what I would want you to start looking into. Something else that this theme has over some of the other ones, product badges. So you can actually set out some custom badges for your store. So we have, like, for example, I think by default, they do sold out and sale badges. You can select the color and what you say within those badges. You can create some custom ones, like if you have popular or best sellers or new arrivals, right? These are all little badges that you can include within your store, which again, for clothing stores, this just makes a whole lot of sense. So these types of like little features like this usually can be found on this section. So that's why I usually go here and see what's available within my product and product listings. And all these are good to explore a little bit further and see what the options are there in the back end. Hey, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Christian. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding. We specialize in helping clothing brands scale online. We served over 250 clothing brands last year alone. And I would appreciate it if you like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the latest content that we have for you. All right, coming up next is Blum. Blum is in the lower end category in terms of pricing. It's only $170. I wanted to get you a theme that I would think it's robust enough, but it doesn't break the bank, right? So it may not have all the features of like stiletto or focal, but it's still good enough that it will get you definitely a step above Dawn, for example, if you're using the free theme for Dawn. So last updated was December. They're on version 2.2.2 and they have great reviews. One of the things that drew me to it was the reviews. So I just want to clarify that too. Let's go check out the demo store here so you can kind of get a sense for how this looks. So nice little video on the hero, a nice little scrolling section there, products, slight animations there and hovering. Looks like we have a quick shop feature, which again, you should probably have if you have a clothing store, you should have some kind of quick shop feature enabled on your store. Looks like we even have a shop to look, which again, for the price and for what you're getting here, this is just amazing. Location, customer reviews, nice little pop up there. So again, I think it has, again, all the necessary things in here for me to say, yes, this is something it's worth it for you to look into. So in terms of, let's go here and see the amount of sections. Okay, so we have, 28 different sections, but again, somewhat similar to Focal in the sense that it has the necessary sections that you will need. It's sort of like nothing else, right? So it will get you to a certain point, a certain look, but then if you want to manipulate after that, you won't have a whole lot. So in here, so we have quick shop. It looks like a collection card, product card. Just want to see, it looks like we can create at least one custom badge. So you saw stiletto, we have like 4 different ones, 6 different ones that we can do. Here we can only do like one custom badge in here. Let's see, appearance, so we can manipulate spacing, animation. So again, I mean, for the price, this is actually a steal, I would even say. We do have the free shipping minimum in here, which should be something that I think everyone should have. As you can see, like this one doesn't have any features for the cart here, but all the features are going to be basically right over here. So it doesn't have any of the basically dynamic products in the cross sell option for products. So you will have to rely on an app to do that portion. This caught my eye here too. Let's explore that a little bit in here. So this is more of a prominent, they call it a prominent badge, just to sort of emphasize a little bit more on it. Extra. Oh, we can share the shape. Diamond, asterisk, or star. Okay. So you see, that's something that's very unique for this particular store. So those are the type of things that you definitely want to explore and look a little bit further into them. But Blum, again, another great suggestion for those of you who are maybe on the more economic side or money conscious, right? But still want something good that has the right amount of features, the right amount of sections, I think this is a great option for you. All right, next up is Broadcast. Broadcast, I think may be the most expensive that we have on this list. This comes at $400. Last updated December 20th, version 6.0.1. Broadcast is just like Stiletto, is probably one of my favorites right now. I've been using it on quite some stores, and the fact that we can actually make them look so much different from one another is insane. So just good flexibility overall and some of the things that we can do. But at the end of the day, it's still very much a good, solid, basic theme that has like all these additional features. So something that I truly love this section too, like mixing images along with the text, which is a good look. These are some of the things that, again, you're going to see within the preview, you're going to see within this demo on how it manipulates and how it handles different sections. I think these ones, yeah, when you hover over it, it changes the background image. So very, very nice. Some slide animations there. I think my internet is being a little bit slower. It goes over some of the images. Big logo on the footer. I don't know. I'm a big fan of this big logo on the footer trend that I've been seeing lately. I've seen some other stores enable something like that as well. So again, just great features overall, good mega menus, like animations, some unique things happening here on this theme. So Broadcast, if you look at the preview here, just up the get-go, because I had this open already, but we have the card drawer in here. And for this particular card drawer, we actually have the ability to manipulate each section within and each block inside of the actual card drawer. So you can control fully how things look and where they are placed inside of your card drawer, which I don't think I've seen any other theme that does. I'm sure there are themes that do this, but the fact that they are this advanced kind of warrants, right, the price point that you're paying. So these are some of the differences, right? You're starting to kind of see some of the differences between the price points and some of the things that it allows you to do moving forward. As you can see, we actually have 4 or 5 different links that you can put in here when the card is empty, versus some of the other ones that even give you the option, or the other ones give you maybe a single option there in the back end. And again, just this alone, like you can do the free shipping message, the upsell products, a gift note, like all these things are available for you. And each of these you can actually click on, and there's information uniquely displayed and things that you can change for each of these things. In terms of sections that you can do, this one has 40 different sections. So again, just a lot of different options. You look at just accordion group, contact form in here. You have countdown timers, image is a very popular here. Image banner, image with product, image with scrolling text, image with text slider. So again, a lot of times whenever you see a lot of these different sections, it's usually sort of like a remix, right, of the section that already probably exists within some of the other themes that we've been talking about. Something that I always like to make sure to, and I don't think, maybe I mentioned it in some of the other ones, but recently viewed products. For clothing stores, recently viewed products, I think it makes a lot of sense, especially if you have a lot of different variety of products. Recently viewed products is a section that it's not always included within your store. So I would definitely make sure to check out your sections before you pay for any theme and see if it has that recently viewed products included. Okay, in terms of some additional things in here, they do also have product badges, which I think it's just a great, nice feature to have. Swatches, you can have that as well. Broadcast also has the opportunity for you to do the siblings. So this is something that I've kind of touched on, but not fully. But color or product siblings basically means that if in the back end, right, I have a product that's a t-shirt that's black, and then I have separately as a t-shirt that's blue, in the front end for the customer, we can actually showcase those color options as sort of like in the same product page. So in the eyes of the customer, they're shopping for this product, but they can see it in multiple colorways. And when they click on that colorway, it just takes them to that other product page essentially. But it's a way for you to connect different products that may be the same product, but different color variations, or maybe a very similar product, but you want to kind of showcase something a little bit different. That's just, to me, a great feature, especially for clothing stores. And a lot of you who potentially do separate the products by color in the back end, but in the front end, you want to be able to showcase those color swatches where the customer can very easily jump from one color to the other. So to me, product siblings is just a great feature. And again, it's one of those things where it comes with the price tag, right, of a higher end theme. Before we get to the last one, I just want to say that if you are a clothing brand owner and want to jump into the specifics of your brand and how to grow it profitably online, then you can schedule a free 45-minute strategy session with us. There are limited spots, so you need to go find a time right now in the link in the description below. Last one, I don't know. Did I leave it for last just because we're using this? So we're using Concept as our website theme. I think Concept has been amazing for us. Let me just show you. This is made by Roar Theme, last updated December, version 3.0. So again, just a newer theme compared to some of the other ones. If we go through the demo, to me, I like the roundness of some of the sections in here. Obviously, that roundness you can completely get rid of if you don't like it, if you don't want it. But to me, the roundness and then the animations were some of the things that really sold me for this theme. And obviously they also have things like, this little scribble, right, underneath bundle, right? That's something unique for this theme. Actually, there's a couple themes that have this option as well, but it's just a great way for you to look a little bit different, right? And to see things just a little bit differently. So as you can see, some of the same sections, some of the same things, obviously things like this, for example, the both scrolling banners that when you scroll past them, they actually go a little bit faster. Those are unique features for this particular theme. The way that the footer sort of reveals, like it's kind of hidden behind, like those are all these little things that won me over when selecting a theme for our brand. Also like this floating, social media with a offer right there as well. And again, just if you look at some of the animations and some of the things that this features, right, when you're hovering over things, it was just a very, very nice touch. Truly enjoyed working on this theme, and something that I look into, right, is all those unique things. Now, if we go into the sections here, we have about, almost 50. They need to just add one more thing in here to make it 50 sections. Sections galore, right? Is so many sections in here, so many things that you can do, a bunch of different options. For us, I think it's been amazing to work with this theme because it has given us the flexibility to do a lot of different things. We're an agency at the end of the day, right? So we don't have necessarily clothing things in here. So we needed something a little bit more robust, something that had a few more sections, a few more things that we could play around with. And this theme has that. So if you want something more robust, then Concept is going to be for you for sure. Something else, and let me see if it will show right here. They had the recently viewed right here within the cart, which again, I thought it was something very unique that I haven't really seen on any other theme. So really enjoyed that. Then here within the cart drawer, it doesn't give us the full flexibility as broadcast, but it does give us a lot of different options in here in terms of recently viewed, the empty cart options, cart recommendations, a free shipping bar, etc. So some of the same features that we may have seen before on some of the other ones. Also, something else that's unique, and I didn't find this feature until a little bit after, and this is one of those things where that's why you need to go to the theme settings. But here under theme settings, under advanced, you'll see this tab attention. So you may have seen this on some other stores where if you have a lot of different tabs open and you go from this website and you kind of go to the other one, right there within the tab, you can actually make a message appear. So that's what they call tab attention. So you can enable that. And then the message here by default is like something we said, ? Or we're still here, with a 3-second message delay there. So it's just a good opportunity to kind of bring people back to that particular tab if they're on desktop viewing multiple tabs. So again, this is one of those things where it's very unique for this theme. And one of the reasons why we chose this theme is the flexibility and just those little granular things that we can do with this theme. All right, there you have it. Those are my top 5 favorite themes right now. Some of the reasons, some of the little features that you'll find for all of these. I try to give you a good variety of themes. Again, this is probably my most favorite list because it has some really good, robust themes. And even the ones that are, again, on the lower price point are still going to be leaps and bounds better than something like Dawn or one of the free themes on the store without actually breaking the bank. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one.